A little bit about when we started Hey Girls. So I started it, as I mentioned, with my two daughters, and we did lots of focus groups to find out what the market opportunity was. There are more menstrual products manufacturers than you can shake a stick at. So we did lots of focus groups, and we asked, in a really sort of old school kind of way, we invited folks to restaurants, pizza restaurants, and said, come along and talk to us about your menstrual products, and we'll feed you pizza. And so we shook all these products out on the tables, and we asked people what we thought about them. What do you think about the sticky tickets on the back of here, or what do you think about the wings, or what do you think about the absorbency? And if you could create an ideal product, what would it look like? And so our focus group said, well, we like the feel of this one, we like the wings of that one, we like the stick of this one. So none of them was perfect. And if you're going to make a product, well, then absolutely it needs to be biodegradable, so no plastic. So once you've got that kind of message from your focus groups, you then go out and try and find that, but it wasn't available off the shelf. We had to have it manufactured to our design. And I don't know if any of you have gone through that sort of creating a product and then having it designed and mold and made. You start out with a very, very, very long list of companies that can make it for you. And then when you start to dig into it, the list gets a lot shorter. So where are they importing their raw materials from? What are their organizational operational policies? And so you start crossing off the sort of list. It gets down to quite short. We got down to about 2 or 3 different manufacturers who could make what we wanted. Then we got into their how does their workforce operate, and how does that organization feel about working with a tiny little social enterprise that hadn't got a lot of money? And we got down to, I think, 1 or maybe 2, and then we asked them, could we put a webcam into their factory, and could we meet some of their workforce? And there was only 1 out of, must have been nearly 40 companies that was willing to let us talk to their team members. And so that's why we ended up with who we ended up with, manufacturing China. The issue is when you have something made to your recipe, your design, the minimum quantities are huge. So we had to buy a 20-foot container of pads, day pads, 330,000 boxes of them. And so that was quite tough. And I couldn't find anyone who would pay for that for us. You couldn't get a grant to buy product. You can get a grant to build your website, but we couldn't get a grant to actually buy that container of products. So I had to get a personal loan to buy that. And it arrived into, this was our fulfillment partner, which are called Haven, and they're a social enterprise. So this is our first container of pads that arrived. And I never forget when I opened, we went down to sort of be offloaded, and you open those doors, and I expected it to be wet because it had come on the sea. And I just thought, just imagine if this container of products was damp in some way. It wasn't. It was perfect. We have had 2 wet containers since then, which you just have to scrap the whole thing. But this was our first container, so that's a really, I remember how I feel when I felt when I first saw that. So I wanted to share that with you. That's what your money buys,
Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll be uploading new podcasts every week where we spotlight some of the world's leading startup founders and VCs to talk about their journeys and experiences in the field.